This is the Papermate Eagle that a subscriber on YouTube had told me that she uses. These come to about 35 cents each. This is like $12.99 at Amazon. There's 36 of them. It's like cheap. The Flexgrip Ultra came to almost like $1 a piece. Okay, taking the ink barrel out, not a problem. Just give it a twist. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to be taking the animal cane, chopping it up, and covering it with chopped cane. I'm going to show a tutorial that I have online, and so let's get started. This is the digital picture tutorial. It's under noragene.com, Biz Archive, Pens, Animal Chop, and this is old. This is what, 2003. So this is showing some earlier efforts for zebra and tiger and leopard. See? Pretty wonky. Everybody gotta start someplace. So I took the canes. Here are the 3 canes from back then. Took a slice and cut them horizontally and vertically. Don't be scared to do this, because one, it's a good exercise, and 2, nothing's precious. And then you toss it like an egg salad. You compress it into a block like that. That's the block. Now this is fun just by itself, just to put on boxes or have as a fob or a pin. You know, they'll all come up with a different design, but they're just so cute just by itself. Okay, and then I had just taken slices and just put them willy-nilly on our old friend, the Big Pen, and that's how they came out. And that's what we're going to do in this video. This is the zebra that we made in February 2013, and this is the end of the cane that gets all crapped out. This is our tiger leaf and a crapped out end. This is our leopard and a crapped out end. You know where I'm going with this. Yep, I'm going to cut the crapped out ends. Kind of cute though, don't they? But I have better use for these reduced areas than these. So let's see. Now you're not going to need this much for one pen. I have 3 pens that I took the ink out of. So this may be enough for 3 pens. I don't know. We'll see. So a lot of people go, "Oh, what are you doing? Are you crazy? You're chopping up good cane." Yeah, that's the point. I've been doing chop and toss for years, and I just love it. It's especially wonderful to do with canes of grave disappointment, and it came about because of canes of grave disappointment. If you saw my earlier videos when I was reviewing chop and toss, my first animal efforts were terrible, just terrible. I think I'll cut some more. And so I had bad zebra and bad leopard and bad giraffe. Bad, bad, bad. And I started cutting them up thinking, I'm just gonna mush them together and maybe make it a base for something, you know, like underneath, bury it underneath something. But then when I started mixing them, they look really trippy when they're mixed. And I went, wow, what if I, you know, chopped up all the animals together? And I chopped up all the animals together. And it's in my Biz archive under the first African mix, under the chop and toss. And then I said, well, what about if I did kente cloth? Because I had some terrible kente cloth, and I still haven't gotten back to doing that. And so it had leaves and flowers and things that looked like coins and something that looked like sky, something that looked like tree bark, but like precious gem, like turquoise. All the things that make me think of Africa and all her bounty, all her riches. And it just came out beautiful. Some of the zebras worrying me because they're kind of big. So I'm gonna cut them down to size. Okay. Another couple of random cuts. Okay. Now, when you're doing like covered pens, it's probably smart to make your block about the length of the pen, because then you can just like slice, and you wrap the pen, and there you go. So this is what we're gonna make effort to do. Don't twist, don't mush, just press the air out of the chop. And now if I knew where my little roller was, I had this little wooden pastry roller somewhere. My tools are just like all God knows where, and because I've been MIA. I've been doing volunteer work with the San Francisco Astrological Society, and so been working on that. Oh, it's funny. I went to the meeting on Thursday, the last day of February, and I was on the 28 bus. And we get a lot of tourists because it passed by the Golden Gate Bridge, and then, about a mile or so after that, then there's the transfer to the 30 Stockton that goes to Chinatown. And so a lot of people who get on the bus at the bridge, they often jump off at the 30 Stockton stop. And this one fellow, middle-aged fellow, and his wife and his grown son, clutching those tiny San Francisco maps that all the tourists get. He's trying to ask the driver, who's driving, do you stop at this stop? And the driver says, I can't read that, it's too small. And so I discerned that this tourist had a bit of an accent, and so I said, Yo habla español? And he says, sí. And then I looked at the driver, and the driver is Hispanic as well. And I said, driver, yo habla español? He goes, sí. I said, will the two of you talk to each other in Spanish, please? Because the driver was trying to tell him, if you get off before that stop that he had marked, the bus to Chinatown would be less crowded. But that was like a little complicated for this man from Spain to understand in English. And so once the driver, who I think was from Mexico, once they realized he could talk to him in Spanish, he said, told him in Spanish. I was just laughing. I was going, will you just talk to each other in Spanish? Jeez Louise. Okay, so we're just, you need to smoosh it out a little more.